Well, I'm not going to speak for long, but I just want to share a few thoughts this Good Friday morning with you. Excuse me. We are here to think about the cross. But what's interesting is even saying it like that, we miss, if we're not careful, the fact that it's not the cross that saves us, it's not a piece of wood, it's the person on it. It's Jesus himself. When we just say the cross, I know we mean Jesus dying for us, but sometimes it can impersonalize it. And I just want to reflect on that for a moment. You know, sometimes and it's right, we look at the theology of the cross and what it means, and the payment of the penalty of our sin, and justification and all of that. We've been thinking about that in our Romans series. But it's really important that we never just look at it as a deal, as a transaction, as something utilitarian, as something that means something that does a job. Yes, the cross does do a job, it does a wonderful job, but the most beautiful and wonderful and amazing thing about the cross is who it is that's on the cross. That this is a person, that this is Jesus, and we must never miss him as we think about the theology that goes with the cross. We must never just take the deal, as it were, of forgiveness and grace and forget the person who is offering us that deal, and forget the person who went through so much to make that deal possible. And that's why I shared that Ragman story, because it's such a personal story, and it reminds us that this is a person who's taken our wounds, and this is a person who's taken our sins, and this is a person who's carried our burdens, that this is Jesus. And I just want to bring us back to that this morning, so that as we take communion, we are giving thanks not just for what he has done, but we are just reflecting on who he is, on his person. That it was Jesus in person, a real man with all the everything of our humanity except our sin, our sensitivity, our fears, our susceptibility to pain. It was a real person that went to the cross, that suffered for us. And not just physical pain, but rejection and abandonment and mocking and all of that. It was a real person. And I want us just, as we share in community, to think about that person, about that Jesus, and say thank you to him. Not to miss the who of the cross. Not just to make it a theological thing, a factual thing, but to see the depth of who it is that's given his life for us. Can I encourage you to do that as we share in communion, just to reflect on the person and all that that person went through, all that Jesus himself went through. And that's why we've read through those readings at length this morning, to remind us that this is reality, that this is a story, that this happened, that this is not just some transaction, theological transaction. It is a person who has suffered for you and for me. And it's that same person who then says, come, follow me. Come, take up your own cross and follow me. Come, walk my way. Come, put your hand in mine. Come, join my company. Come, enjoy my company. Come, walk alongside me. Come, take my yoke upon you and learn from me. It's that same person. He's worn our shoes. He's walked our path. He suffered our pain, and he invites us now into that intimate relationship with himself. Let's never, ever, ever miss or forget the who of Easter. by just focusing on the what and the why. Let's never ever miss the who, the beautiful and the wonderful person of Jesus Christ, who laid down his life for us. As we share communion in a few minutes, worship him. Give him your heart. Give him your hand. Give him your trust again. Because it's Jesus in person that came for you, that died for you, and that wants to walk with you.
Popular theology has emphasized the utility of the cross rather than the beauty of the one who died on it. Our relationship to Christ has been made contractual instead of personal. The work of Christ has been stressed until it has eclipsed the person of Christ. What he did for me seems to be more important than who he is to me. Redemption is seen as an across-the-counter transaction which we must accept, and the whole thing lacks emotional content. That's a quote from the famous A.W. Tozer.